With Fantastic Four First Steps, I think the MCU is finally back on the right track. Can they keep it going? Only time will tell. This is the beginning of Phase 6. Can't believe we're this far into it now. Oh my god! But, it remains to be seen if Marvel can keep this momentum going, because Thunderbolts was very good. It's a shame that it bombed at the box office, so it doesn't really get the attention it deserves, I feel. And then Fantastic Four First Steps, it's a step above. It's even better. And it's the shot in the arm the MCU desperately needed. Right off the bat, the second things come onto the screen, the mystery is solved about whether this is from the 1960s on the main Earth that the MCU takes place, or it's a different Earth. It's solved immediately, and I like that they just got that out of the way. Something I also really like is that we jumped right into it. There was no, this isn't an origin story. Much like Superman, it jumps right into the action. The Fantastic Four, they have been the Fantastic Four for the last 4 years. Or it was 3 years. No, it's 4 years. Superman was 3 years. For the last 4 years, they have been the Fantastic Four. So we jump right into the action. They are already beloved by New York City, the Baxter Building. They are beloved by the world. And I love that. Because the superhero origin story is getting old. Not every hero, not every movie, not every TV show needs an origin story. I mean, yes, there are people out there who don't know the comics, so they don't know how they become who they are. But just what Fantastic Four did. It was kind of like a quick news story that kind of plays back the events of what happened that 4 years ago when they originally got their powers, and boom, done. That's it. Gets right back into the movie. We see a cool montage of the Fantastic Four defeating multiple villains. That in itself is cool. Pedro Pascal kills it as Reed Richards. Just mwah. But the true double chef's kiss goes to Vanessa Kirby. She puts on an acting masterclass in this movie. She shines above everybody else. Everybody in general shines. Everyone's great. But Vanessa Kirby is just perfection. She was the absolute perfect choice to play Sue Storm. Joseph Quinn, also a great Johnny Storm. He plays both kind of ridiculous, joking around, the funny guy, but he can also be very serious, and it meshes so well. Speaking of meshing well, Eben Ross Backrack, probably saying the last name wrong, not only a great Ben Grimm, fantastic The Thing, but his chemistry with Joseph Quinn is off the charts. They are not only hysterical together, but they are also just heartwarming and caring. And that goes for the on-screen pairing of Pascal and Kirby. They just work so well off of each other. Then the four, all of them, their chemistry, fucking-tastic. Julia Garner is Shala Ball, the Silver Surfer, which a lot of people bitching and moaning about. You feel we were there with the woman. One of the Silver Surfers is a woman. This is potentially a completely different Earth. So, if this is a different Earth, because I'm not going to confirm if you haven't seen the movie, if this is a completely different Earth, logic says it's a different Silver Surfer. Because just in case you don't know what the multiverse is, each character can be very, very different from the main Earth counterpart. But Julia Garner, she's great. I've become a big fan of hers over the last couple of years. She's been really making a name for herself in the horror genre, which, for me, horror is my genre of choice. So I've been seeing a lot of her. I'm very excited to see her in Weapons in a couple of weeks. So to see her in this role and kind of like a horror-oriented role. Just like the way she presents herself, the way she speaks. It's very horror-centric, and she kills it. And her look, like the final look for the movie, super polished. And not just because she's like all silver, but it just looks so good. And that goes the same for Galactus. Not only does he just look frightening, downright scary, not just because of his size, but just because of the comic accuracy of the look. Ralph Ineson, his voice for the role, really adds to it. It adds to the frightening nature of Galactus, and it really makes you fear for whatever the hell he's doing. The CGI of special effects, I've already mentioned some of it, but in general, it is great. The baby, Franklin, at times, it is a painfully obvious CGI baby, but I totally get it, considering some of the stuff the baby gets into, but it still just looks, at times, really, really bad. But in general, the CGI, the special effects, it all looks great. The story itself, it's thrilling, it's funny, it's heartwarming at times, and it really gets you to the center of what Marvel's First Family is all about. With this film, as well as Superman, I feel like the comic book genre for movies, it's getting back on track. Not only is DC starting with a high note, they're starting their new cinematic universe on the right foot. Marvel, the MCU, is getting back on track, which is something they desperately needed. And Fantastic Four First Steps does that. I give this latest iteration of the Fantastic Four, Marvel's First Family, First Steps, an A+. Did you enjoy the review? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to see more movie and TV reviews, along with reaction comedy shorts. Join the channel membership for just $1.99 a month to be able to watch all videos before the public with early access. Feel free to leave a comment to discuss your thoughts on the movie or show, and I will see you next time.